Question. It's a big question. All right. So my first question, it's a big question that was going on when the Pop the Balloon came out, right? It was one of the key things that you said was a deal breaker.
I look for a woman that's not promiscuous and has a career going for herself.
And it was that you do not want a promiscuous woman. Now, I know what promiscuous means. She know what promiscuous mean. But for some reason, there's a lot of people that when you said that, the internet, they can't take it for what it is. Everybody got all these multiple meanings for it. But the only person that they wasn't asking who it really meant, what it really meant to was you. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So yes. I want you to tell these people, what does promiscuous mean to Aaron? Go ahead, big dog.
To Aaron, a promiscuous woman is a woman that possesses the Jezebel spirit. You know, if you're familiar with the Bible, you know about Jezebel, right? And the deception that she used and the evil things that she's done. Right. Promiscuous women nowadays, they tend to manipulate you all for selfish gain. Right. And in the midst of, you know, me falling in love with this promiscuous woman, she's having sexual interactions with other men, you know, throwing off my pH balance. And, you know, your pH balance being affected, that affects my mood, my work ethic at work, a multitude of things that I just don't want inside of my realm.
Right. Okay. And so, in a way, you would say that when that promiscuous spirit is in your vicinity, the household can't function, and that's why you can't allow that in your space, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Because if we look at history, you know, there's been women that have conquered kingdoms with their manipulation tactics and with being promiscuous as well. So I don't like that at all. And if a woman manifests any interest in another man, and I'm, you know, showing her that I'm interested in her wholeheartedly, then I don't want anything to do with you.
Right. And so how do you feel about it when we live in a day and age now when you call people out for promiscuity, right? Because a promiscuous person can be a man and it can be a woman, right? Men have the same dog tactics that women do. And a lot of things that we call out on our channel is no matter whether you want to be on team men or team women, we all got some bad habits that are negatively affecting the dating game on both ends. So what do you feel like to a woman who hears what you got to say about this and they try to throw it off on like, well, we can't be promiscuous over here, but what about what men do, over what men say, how they operate? The tit for tat. How do you feel when a woman tries to bring that up? Like, what is your exchange with that?
I would like my exchange with that would be, me personally, I'm no saint whatsoever. Right. You know, I have been a promiscuous man myself. And it wasn't until I was able to see the damage that was done to the other individual. I didn't know anything about empathy whatsoever until, you know, this particular situation transpired. Right. Once I stepped out of the relationship, this woman suffered some life-changing things, you know, mentally, I would say. She lost her confidence and her self-esteem because of that. And now she indulges in relationships with low-value men. And honestly, I started caring, even though it's not my fault, with her proceeding on with her life, her indulging with them, that's not my fault. But I feel like I played a factor in that. Right. Stepping out on her. So, and also what I've come to realize is not all women, but the promiscuous women, they are like cats. You know, you could count on one hand how many times have you seen a cat having sex. Right. But men, we're like dogs. You know, you'll never see a cat. You can leave a cat in the middle of a desert and it'll come back pregnant. Right. And we're like dogs. You know, we'll do it right in front of you. Me personally, I would just like to find one person, do it how I like, and I won't seek others. You don't seek others. Right. We can leave it at that.
Okay. Now, We're gonna move from that a little bit because I did like what you said about empathy, and I could talk with you about empathy for hours because I feel like one thing that I had to learn as I got married was the importance of empathy. And so now on this day and age, for some reason, when we bring empathy up as a talking point when it comes to relationships, if you as a man start preaching empathy, you're suddenly a simp, you're soft, you feminine. But if you try to bring empathy up to women, then all of a sudden it's like there's a disconnect there on both ends. But people don't seem to realize that the reason why relationships work is because you have to be able to put yourself in the place of your partner, and your partner has to put themselves in the place of you, and you guys come to that understanding together. And I just don't understand why, as men and women, that disconnect is just so vast, if that makes any sense. If you got anything to say on that, go ahead.
I think that disconnect is that way because part of the reason is the way the economy is as well. Okay. You know, everything is so expensive. Everything is increasing except minimum wage. Right. And due to that reason, you know, you have at an all-time high, you know, women doing OnlyFans, you know, women want to strip, women wanting to do all these activities that a man of my stature would not approve of. Right. You know, and I think providing more opportunities for women and men overall would change that as well. People don't communicate anymore. Everybody is like, to me, out for their own selfish gain. Right. It's like on the show, like I said on my story, you know, it seemed like those women were there for a helpmate and not a soulmate. You know, we came for different purposes. Yeah. Okay. And I don't, you know, like I said before, I don't treat women, I court them. It's a big difference. You know, you treat an animal. You know, when an animal does something nice, you give them a little treat. Here's a little doggy bone. You court a woman. You know, you treat that woman like a goddess. But I can't give you 110% of me, and you are giving me 75% of you, and you giving Jonathan 10%. You got Jimmy, he another 10%. You know, your attention is divided. So when I'm pouring into you, like I stated before, I'm pouring into you the seeds that I'm planting. They'll never grow because you're distracted.